This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by nhliberty.org. Well, now I'm standing here, or actually at the moment sitting here, with Melinda from Massachusetts, who is, are you actually a Free Stater or just interested?
I'm exploring.
Okay. Came up to check out the movement up here at Rogers Campground in Lancaster, where Porcupine Fest is taking place, gathering liberty lovers in New Hampshire. And the reason I wanted to talk to you was because you had a disagreement with me, which I don't get a whole lot of that from liberty lovers, so I tend to focus on it, and it makes for better conversation than just a bunch of agreement. But tell me a little bit about something you told me that you kind of didn't like about the Ridley Report.
Yes. Well, it doesn't have to do with freedom so much, I don't think, but I am exploring this movement, and I went to the PorcFest website to see, to learn more and try to figure out if I wanted to come to PorcFest or not. And at the bottom of the page, it said, see movies from PorcFest 2009. So I said, well, great. Now I will have a sense of what I might be getting into. So I started seeing the posts on YouTube from the previous PorcFest, and most of them were from you. And I'm just kind of going down them. And I think the second or third one was about the numbers of women at PorcFest. Oh, man, I just zeroed right in on that because, I'm a woman, and I had the impression it might be all guys. So I open up that little post, and you're in the room, and you're kind of panning around. We're checking out the number of women, and you go up to one guy, and you start to interview him, and you say something like, what do you think about the numbers of women here? And he said, oh, yeah, we're starting to get real hotties. And I just was like, oh, is this what awaits me if I join this movement? I mean, my heart just sank because hotties is not the heading that I would hope women would be welcomed into the movement under.
It sounds too sexist.
Well, it sounds, broadly, it sounds too sexist. In a focus sense, it sounds too focused on women's physical appearance and, them as sex objects, I guess. And, it's natural to want sex. It's natural to, look for a partner. But that's not why I would be coming to PorcFest. I'd be coming to PorcFest to hear some good ideas and decide if I want to bring my enthusiasm and my energy, and perhaps I have a few good ideas to include as well, if I want to contribute them to this community. And so the hotties remark was off-putting for me.
Well, of course, it wasn't just that other person that was making hotties remarks. I put hotties in the title sometimes, when I create a video. So I probably pushed you away a little bit too myself.
Well, I'm going to get there. I don't know how much time I have with you, but so you, as I think you're a balanced journalist, and you attempted to, you prompted the person you were interviewing for a little bit more, anything else that he would say. Well, he just continued on the same theme. You said something like, so anything else? And he said, well, yeah, when you're at PorcFest, these few days, and you could get bored, and it's great to have hotties around. It's great to have us around? I mean, we could be, arm-in-arm comrades in ideas, So, whatever. One bad apple don't spoil a whole bunch. So I just went on to the next video that had anything to do with women. And the title was something like, Dancing Hotties Not Deterred by PorcFest Storm. I was like, what can this be?
You got a good memory.
So, it was some women dancing very sexily while it was raining. Okay, the women did it. I can't say anything. Whatever. On to the next video. The next video title was Pretty Activists versus PorcFest Storm. So somebody was a woman was trying to speak, and the rain was pounding down on the roof, and people couldn't hear her. And I just thought that the title, what you're marketing, like how you're selling this, is Pretty Activist? Now I was really starting to get annoyed because now we're in a pattern, okay? This is the third one. And one of the later videos that I saw was of Sam Dodson, who was the closing speaker. And, I think Sam Dodson's a handsome guy, and I think most people would agree. But I just know You would never title it "Handsome Activist Gives Closing Address." You know, I just know. So to me, that's sexism. You're treating women differently than you're treating men. And women are different than men in certain ways. But we're here about ideas. And I don't think men and women have radically different capabilities of holding, creating, developing ideas.
Right.
So this was depressing to me. And then there was a final video that dealt with women. I'm focusing on women, okay, because I'm a woman. How is it going to be for me? And this one was titled "Pretty Documentarian Seeking," I don't know, whatever story. I just like, oh, yeah, what am I getting into here? And, I mean, there were plenty of other videos that showed what I want to see, which is, A, people who are sane, B, people who are smart and have good ideas, and C, people who care about other people. Because I'm here as a left-winger. I'm a member of the Green Party. I have a bumper sticker on my car that says Medicare for all. I mean, just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. But I'm open to, you know, I'm hearing some good ideas from your side of things, and I'm open, and we could all use more good ideas. So I totally lost my train of thought.
Well, that's okay, because I have one. I can respond a little bit.
Great.
Because we had this conversation earlier.
Yeah,
there's a reason why I do that, you know, and put the word hotties in a video or something like that. And it's real simple. It's just that it gets more hits. You know, if you put the word hotties in a video, in the title or in the text, really best off to put it both in the title and the text and the tags. It just gets more attention, and like it or not, getting attention is what we have to do if we're going to move forward with any kind of freedom. So that's my excuse, at least. You know.
When you said that first, I submitted. You know, I accepted. Like, well, yeah, okay, if that's what you got to do. But then later, another thought came to me, which is, okay, so how does putting the word hottie in there help people find you? Does that mean they Googled the word hottie?
Yes.
Is that the kind of person who is going to benefit from seeing a politically oriented, ideas-filled video?
Well,
I don't think so. Somebody who's looking for hotties does not. I mean, maybe.
Well,
everything's on a bell curve. There's like a little skinny end.
That's how inclusive the movement is that most of us do see a place for almost everybody with almost every, you know, possible keyword search that they might put in. Because, you know, a person doesn't have to be brilliant or perfect or anything to know that they shouldn't hurt other people. And anyone that understands that, we're glad to have him around. It doesn't matter if the keyword search the word hottie.
That, and I believe in a big tent, but I just question what you're really getting if what you're getting is people who are Googling hottie, who are searching for hottie. I mean,
well, we've finally got more women. I don't know how that came about.
Yeah, you do. Well, maybe it's because you have a woman organizer. I think Kyla's doing a fabulous job, and there's a lot of dancing at this event, and women love to dance. I mean, that is, I think, a statistically verifiable difference between men and women in this culture. Is women like to dance more than men, and I know I'm going to all the dance events because I can't sit on my duff listening to all the brilliant people here for 8 hours a day. I gotta move too.
Yeah. All right. Well, Melinda, I invite you to keep up the criticism on my comment section. You know, it's something worth talking about, I guess. For now, I probably will still use the word hotties from time to time, but maybe you can talk me out of it.
Well,
maybe someone
but
else
I just want to say, you know, in following up on what are you getting when you're pulling in people who are looking for hotties, is whatever you put out in the public domain becomes part of your marketing plan, whether it was part of your marketing plan or not. And so you're putting out some information about yourself as a movement with stuff that's focusing on hottie. So now maybe what you want to do is weigh out the two things. Am I getting more benefit from pulling in people who are looking for hottie than I'm getting by not pushing away women who say, what the fuck is this about?
Or there's a word that might push a few people away, too. So.
Sorry.
Anyway, this edition of The Ridley Report brought to you by the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance at nhliberty.org. As you well know, if you go to the State House in New Hampshire and you do this, you will hit a member of the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance because they're all over the place at the New Hampshire State House. nhliberty.org.